force. Manze venye zangu zimenishika na kupata tunaweza choma picha.
Ile side nyingine. Ile ya kamera. Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. This is the Voices of the Millennial podcast, powered by Kenyan Powerhouse. And kama kawaida, you know, today sponsors wetu ni Elite Club Studios. Guys, leo niko na guest. Na najua nimeleta guest wengine, but who si ordinary guest. Ni kazini yangu. But I want her to introduce herself. Karibu sana. Introduce yourself.
Hi, Zak.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Nice to be in this kind of set.
This will probably be a one of one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'll do this again.
Yeah.
I should not say that, but I don't know where in the spectrum of millennials you would put me.
I think sisi wote ni millennials, but when the a bit older millennial. Mimi ndio nimefunga hiyo line ya millennial.
Kwetu.
Mimi ndio nimefunga. Okay, si kwetu, but mimi na talk about in terms of age yangu. In terms of age. Ukiangalia someone close to me, but nataka ujiintroduce kwanza kabla tuendelee.
Okay. I am a senior millennial.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm a middle millennial.
Yes, middle.
Yeah, I'm a middle millennial.
Okay.
My name is Ninah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So happy.
My name is Ninah. I love life, and that's why I'm here. I like doing fun things. I think I'm a cool person.
Yes,
and I should always do cool things. Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm here to give the voice to the middle millennials in case you're forgotten. I'm here on your behalf.
Hapo sasa. So, tulikuwa tunaongea about millennials. So, tusha put it out there, kila mtu anajua wewe ni kuzo yangu. Ukiangalia someone who follows me closely behind ni Cleo, and Cleo kapi yake ni ya Gen Z. So I think mimi ndio ule wa kufunga. Jua wengine ni Gen Z. Shunet I think ni Gen Z. Roy I think ni Gen Z. I think.
Okay, yeah. When do wa mwisho?
I think mimi ndio kale ka.
You're last born. You're last born.
Mimi ndio last born when it comes to that.
But you're also able to integrate both worlds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Na understand both sides, na understand his side. I mean, maybe everyone does. See at many like the special person.
Me, I am not able.
You're not able?
I'm in the thicket with Gen Z stuff.
Bro,
I
wanna confuse.
Sana. Now I feel my age. I feel my true age when I'm interacting with anybody who is below 30. Yeah.
So niambie like one thing Kenya inakuconfuse. Anything from the top of your head.
Top of my head. The fashion.
Ooh, okay. Enyewe agenda ti huku kando umekuja tu hapa fashion hapa.
The fashions are really confusing to me. I'm trying to be cool also, but I can't board. Hiyo tu ndio nimeshindwa.
Okay.
I've tried the music. I'm almost there. The culture is not mine, so it's not mine to absorb. But the fashions, bro.
Different.
I'll sound like such an older person. It's you know, I live with my niece, yeah? So my niece is always trying to dress me. And she's always like, you cannot wear too baggy things.
I was heading there.
Yeah.
But
it has to be very baggy if you're doing the baggy thing, you know? And it has to be also really tight.
If you...
Yeah. And you have to bring them to...
you're like, what?
Okay, let me just wear my dress and move on with my life. I know there's some babe who posted a photo, just Ivy.
Just Ivy, yeah.
Yeah, and she was like...
Money Ivy.
Girl.
Money Ivy.
Power to her. So she posted a photo and she was like, can Gen Z's... Like, basically a roast me kind of situation. And the things Gen Z's talked about is everything that I do. Ankle socks. Why are we fighting ankle socks?
Why?
They are comfortable. The edge of my shoe doesn't have to graze me.
I know.
It makes sense, right? Why are we fighting? Kuna ngine tuliambiwa. hoops are no longer in fashion.
Whoa. I love hoops, by the way.
Yeah, you're a millennial.
Yeah, I love hoops. Girlfriend yangu anavanga hoops and I think she's beautiful. By the way, babe, Maluko.
Shout out, you gotta shout out.
Tendele.
Anyway, good for Gen Zs. I love them. I wish I could be them. Unfortunately. Or fortunate for me, I get to experience it.
Okay. Siwezi kudanganya. Pia mimi to some point because if you know my sis, Shishi, pia ni like a millennial. Na kuna venye pia just how you look at it from your side with jazz. Pia mimi nilikuwa like kuna vitu anasemanga okay mangoma pia na try ku catch up lakini vitu zingine niko like bro acha tu ni baki hii side nyingine.
I don't need to know.
Acha tu ni baki hii side yangu. Si lazima niko like the cool person nini. It's even worse because au wachini ya Gen Z wanaitangwa aje? Alpha. John is my youngest bro ni Alpha. So even yao ni more crazy. John nilikaa tu hivi nikasema wacha tu nibaki tu na personality yangu. Hakuna mtu atanipeleka kileleshwa police station anifungie juu
because I'm not cool. Exactly, yeah. You can't keep up with everything. That's what I'm learning. I like to be as relevant as possible, but squeezy niko sawa.
Okay.
I'm good with what I know and what I don't know.
Okay. So how we do kwa hii pod tunaongea maybe mostly about how our week has been. Maybe kama umepata something interesting kwa your week, then tunaweza get to the meat of the stuff. Kuna vitu kwa akili yangu na feel we should talk about na nataka kusikia your hot takes on whatever we will talk about. By the way, mkifollow hiki to hadi the end mtaweza kuno what we are talking about. So to watch hadi mwisho and subscribe.
Commit.
So tunaweza anza na wewe. How has your week been? Kuna kitu interesting umepata kwa wiki yako? Tell us something about that.
My week has been good. I am currently in the process of a career change.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would consider myself retired. So I'm trying to see what my next gig is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I've been doing. It's so interesting. Like also I'm in a place where I have to learn very, very fast because I do not have the opportunity to go. I have the opportunity. I'd rather not go back to school to learn it. So I have to learn it as I'm building it. Yeah. So that is very interesting to me. I think as much as things look really shitty in the country, I think there's a lot of opportunity that can be exploited. And I love being in that space where I'm like, okay, see a must, it makes sense, your side of politics. See a must, it makes sense, your side in it. But if there's something I can make use of, I will make use of it.
Okay.
Regardless.
Okay. That's... Hey, so to I think na maybe audience wanaweza shanga mbona nakani kama na digest a lot in my head, but ni kweli juu na digest career change nini mimi nimekujua for a very long time na najua pia maybe imekuwa like a family business. Nimekujua kwa like stuff in construction
Mjengo.
nini so kusikia shift niko like bro, mi nimekujua ukithrive kwa construction sawa na una change niko like where you need different.
I wish you'd even know what I'm changing to. It's night and day.
Lakini after maybe I talk about something to do with my week, itabidi tu niguzie. Juu sasa uwezi niacha tu hivyo hani. You can tell me what I need to know. What I don't need to know.
You don't need to know. Yeah, say I must be. Sawa. Yeah, so that's what my week has been.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. So,
how has your week been?
For me, nimekuwa na a tough week. First of all,
Zak, you're doing so well in life, by the way.
I mean, I get that a lot. Lakini unajua kwa developers kuna front end na back end. Like uko kwa back end vitu ziko tu hivi.
Hizo ni zako za kusort out. Sisi Kenya tunaona ina make sense.
Okay, sawa. Thank you. Wacha nikubali. Juu nakumbuka hata there was a time tulikuwa tuna arrange kuka hivi vile tunakaa leo na ukaniambia by the Zak, unajua saa hiyo like you're like a bazoo. Nikakwambia unajua hiyo jina sijazoea mtu akiniita bazoo.
Nikakwambiaje?
Ukaniambia jiingize hapo uanze kuzoea mapema because like that's where you're heading. Nikaka hivi nikasema ama maybe tu niko na imposter syndrome or something of that sort. Sijui, but mimi hiyo two person ka modest, nataka kuingiza modest nini mambo nyingi tu, but for me wiki yangu imekuwa a bit hectic. Ndio maana leo siwafichi.
Imebidi.
Leo siwafichi. Cheers to that. Leo siwafichi. So kuna this very huge event that will be happening on 2nd to 4th December. Na the place I work, I'm the PR and communication, so kuna like a lot of pressure on me to make sure we have enough registrations. Juni like somehow a high level event. So, and we have a new boss, so ako on my neck, ako like, we have to do paid ads, we have to do what. So ni a bit crazy. Wase wengine wakienda home office, mimi nimeambiwa nikae job every single day till your event happen. So ni a bit crazy. That's why nimekuwa na leo have relief kiasi. By the way, sponyo. But basically, even though wiki yangu imekuwa, at least imeisha on a good note, because kama saini satoso basically tunaweza sema ni kama wiki imeisha. Yeah, so hiyo ndio imekuwa wiki yangu. Sasa nimeharakisha hii process ndio turudi hapo,
so that I tell you.
Ndio turudi hapo kwa mali unaniambia. By the way, unajua I don't know, unajua pia unaweza kaa hapo useme ini kitu ya kawaida, because mimi as a younger cousin nimeona hiyo shughuli yako inakubaya hadi SUV, inakubaya life yenye unataka, inakubaya uishi place yenye si watu wengi hata wanaweza ishi. From my side, unajua from your side naweza kwa like see that's just nini. So niko very interested kujua what I need to know. Niko very interested kujua hii transition what is this transition and what does it look like, whatever we need to know.
Okay. So from what you know me, I've worked in construction. My entire career has been in construction. I'm a trained architect. I worked in the family business. But just before COVID, I had an event in my life that swept the rug from under my feet. Lucky there was COVID, so I had time to sit and like recover from that. But I realized the reason that thing like rocked my world is because I was experiencing burnout. Like I'd worked, I think, for 7 years back to back. I used to take a 2-week holiday Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah. And I used to, there's a time I was even like doing 2 shifts. So niko kwa east side, then I go to this other side. And obviously my body started complaining. It's like, bro, we can't. It's fun. It makes money sense. Yeah. Yo, like maisha tuliishi vizuri na tukajipatia kila kitu tulikuwa tunataka. And then
may know. Maybe other people know. Cleo, si ucomment hapa. Si unajua kenye tunasema, endelea.
I mean, but like after I think you have several dances you have to dance in your life. And you owe it to yourself to at least do half of them. So I'd done the career thing. I knew how that thing would look like if I played again for the next 10 years, 20 years, for the rest of my life. I'm like, projection is this, stress is this, potential to kill me is also quite high. It can work. Like optics-wise, it was excellent to be in the industry. I love that industry. It loved me back really well. But it almost killed me, and I did not appreciate that. Sikufurahia. So I was like, okay, what are you going to do? Because you have either the option to get into corporate for it to be sustainable, at least here in Kenya, or you be an entrepreneur, but it is still going to be in construction. It is also in our good friend Zakayo's government, which tenderpreneurship is not successful, at least in my opinion, unless you have several godfathers. So that was also not going to work. So I'm like, okay, what do you want to do then? Because you went back to work, because I worked when I was in Malawi. I went back into corporate to just see, to confirm to myself whether this is what I need to live. It was a shit show, Zak.
Ulikuwa corporate bad, nilikuwa naona hadi una post LinkedIn, nikakuwa like, okay.
Imagine, I need to be relevant. For what? For what? I couldn't say idea. Like, I had a really hard time. The job was good. It looked like it had a lot of potential, but I was extremely unhappy. But it's because I had not addressed my burnout. And then we had the COVID excuse. We were just thinking about not dying. So finally, I'm like, okay, what do you want to do? Like, what does it look like? Because the next thing I'm doing is probably going to carry me into my 50s. There's no time now to experiment. Make a decision, stick to it, and work on it, period. So I'm like, okay, what can you do? I'm a creative. The only thing I can create, not though I can create many things, but like the thing I've been trained to create is buildings. I can build things. I don't want to go and start being a doctor or an accountant. But how can I make this thing fun? How can it be impactful? How can it support my community? Because I'm a Maasai, and there's a lot of displacement of culture. I'm displaced in my own culture because I know nothing about it. So I'm just trying to find a way to bridge my need to know about my culture and still be impactful in those spaces in the training that I have. So we've conceived the baby. We're waiting to give birth to the baby. So that's where we are. So we're going into funding. So that's what I'm saying. Now the career change, I can't fall back anymore. But I'm also like, you have to create your own life. Otherwise, if you don't create it, they'll create it for you.
That's true.
And me, it was already created. Like, my dad is in the industry. What are you doing, Nina? What else could you possibly do? Why would you leave this thing that has already been set up?
And has been working.
Like, to start again? I think that was the scariest thing for me this year. Because I quit my job last year in December. I used to go to work and I'd cry. Getting into the office, when I leave, I cry because of how stressed I am. And I'm like, my body hates this. That is, for me, is enough signal to stop. See, I must. Because kukufa tunakufa. The outcome of this experience is death. Anyway. So I might as well leave without killing my body, because that's the thing that's going to be left here. We want you to, like, or you want to stay longer. Now, ukiangalia hivi, maybe this is not the direction I want to take, you might as well iache tu before maybe things get out of hand. And if you need to take cry breaks, like uende kwa toilet ya office ndo umaliza shughuli yako, alafu maybe uweke eye drops or something ndo urudi job, see what it. Bro, shout out to my employer, my former employer. They were good to me. I just wasn't great to them. In case this catches wind, I was not in the right place to be there. It is fundamental that, if anything, your body should be able to be available to the dances of your life that bring you excitement. But when I was working, my body was never available for me to enjoy the things I was actually believing that I was working for. Right? So you have the car. Do you have the time to drive to the places you thought you were going to drive to?
I know.
You don't.
I know.
You don't.
Unajua.
I mean,
you say things that people are afraid to talk about. I'll say this. I'm not afraid to say this. Recently, okay, nimeka na bike yangu maybe say 1 year, but for the past few months, the only place that bike takes me is to the office and back home. So I understand ukisema whatever you're saying. And understand whatever you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, you know, when people say this, then you're put on one spectrum, one of two spectrums, right? You're either extremely wealthy or you're so fucking broke that you're saying this thing. So the audience can decide where I sit, right?
Yeah.
I think for me at this point, money doesn't matter, right? I have to be happy, even if it's at the expense of the optics looking how they should look. It's not the most important thing. I think if you're pursuing the things that make you excited, the things that bring you joy, there's everything else opens up for you. Outside of that, like, I've made more money this year than I made when I was working.
Okay.
And I've literally just been building my thing. I've owned my time for the last 10 months. I've done what I wanted to do. And I'm like, so really, me being in the system, to make that money, I'm using my time to make money, to live in Nairobi, in a compartment, so that I can bring food and water and electricity for 30 days.
We were talking about this in the car.
Yes. I was telling you I'm getting out of here.
Unajua sasa shida yako ni unakaa na ukweli nyingi zinaharibu juu. If you think about it, ni unaona vile kale mouse kanaendanga kwa ile kitu hivi. That's the cycle that you're talking about. And the fact that will make much more money while outside whatever that is, that's a different angle.
Money is not real. It's not a real thing, right? It's everything that is happening to you is a creation of your reality, right? So sometimes I have money, but I think I'm so broke. I have money moods, and you don't want to meet me when I have money moods. Because I used to believe money is the only thing that... There's a friend of mine who used to say, cash is king. And he lives up to today by that philosophy. Is it converting to money?
Sawa.
If it's not, well, buy unapologetically. It makes things move.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
But can it move in a way that you, as a Zak, can create impact?
That's the thing.
Can it be in service to your highest self? Because you'll serve so many masters in your life except yourself. So when is it your turn? Literally, utafanya shughuli yako lini? Kama uko job 8 to 5.
Hautawai.
Sijui how many days a year. Me, I don't even know leave. God, I had to Google what some leave details are when I went into corporate.
Whoa.
I'm like, how many days do I get? Why do I need a whole paragraph to explain how much time I need?
Yeah.
So sometimes I used to go to interviews to just understand where I'm placed in the market. And like people used to ask me, what are your hobbies? And that question used to really throw me off because I'm like, why do you need to know what I do after work? Siwa unanilipa nikuja hapa 8 to 5. Shughuli zangu.
That's none.
Yeah.
They are paying you for the time unawaserve, which is maybe 8 to 5, 9:30,
if they are lucky.
Whatever that time is. But hao wanalipia hiyo time. Hii time yenye hawalipii inawahusuaje?
Why do you need to know that information? I sit at home. I pray. And then you're just trying to put me in a little category and I'm not whatever it is. We're here to do a job. Let's do the job. And then I can go do the rest of my life. Yeah. So now I'm in the space where I'm just doing what the fuck I want. For the rest of my life.
So, mi naeza sema, by the way, kama umefika hapo, like, sasa umerealize life ni nini. Mi naeza kaa hivi niseme, sija figure that part out, and it's not bad that I haven't. But niko walk in a way that najua wewe sasa ushafika like potential yako. Juu unaweza kaa hivi useme leo nitaamka 12 alafu 1 nianze ile shughuli yangu nifanye niekele maybe 4 hours alafu niseme let's go on to the next day and do whatever it is on the next day. Yani wewe uko na schedule yako. So niko work enough to understand what you mean and kama that's what you mean by the shift or the transition, hapa kwanza nitaweka makofi hapa ndio nitaiweka.
I read something, yeah, and I think you should borrow this. You have many phases in your life, right? You can even count the number of lives you've lived where sometimes I'll see pictures of myself like that was 4 Ninas ago, you know? The person you know today is not that person. So you have several phases of your life and you'll go through so many others
as time goes by.
Go through this voyage that is being a human. There's something called the hero's journey, right? Everyone is a hero or should be a hero in their own life, right? So there's a process to the journey, and like the journey can be done multiple times. Within the journey, there's other heroes' journeys, right? So everything as a collective can happen to you. Even the way I'm saying it sounds like I'm doing a fun thing. It is extremely hard. The hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Back end.
Hata tujuangi vitu ziko wapi siku hizi. Yeah, but once you receive, like, it's not a must that it looks like this. You can still do it within the systems that exist. But the day you receive your it's called the call to adventure, right? Whatever it is you do, you cannot run away from that. You have to answer that call. That is the call from God telling you, nigga, I put you here.
It's fine. We do it here.
Yeah, I don't do it here. To be shamed.
We do it here.
I mean, that day you receive that thing that you cannot shake off is the day you have received a message from the universe to show up to your own life.
Yeah.
So there's a process. You receive your call to adventure. The first thing that a human would do because of the limitations of this simulation is you will refuse to answer the call. You know what it's saying, but you're like, let me go back to corporate and see whether I can survive there, right? So you'll fight it, right? The next step is you answer the call to adventure. That is the day you meet your life and you meet yourself. Na mnaongeleshana. Last year, I think I sort of lost my mind a little bit. Yeah. But it was so good because it took me to where I needed to go. Like I'd lost. Nilikuwa nimepotea kidogo, so ikabidi waniite. All my ancestors, I met my shosho actually in that process. So all of them collected me like, bros, chill. This is what you can do. This is how it can look like. But if you go this way, it's going to be very difficult for us to support you.
Wait, was that before or after exiting corporate?
It was in the process of me knowing that this is not for me anymore. So that was like a 3-month process. Yeah, so it started in August. Yeah, we were making the decision in December. So I'd taken myself through the entire ring of what this is. So at some point you have to surrender to God or whatever your God is. Like, okay, sawa, nimefika hapa, nimeshindwa inabo tufanye. Sinyi ndio mnajua, like, also why am I here if this shit I can't call on you for like to support me. So I was drugged. I was given conditions. I was told I have till 31st of December to be very clear, right? So I made a deal, I guess.
And concise.
Yes! You know those emails? I got an email from my future and like, this is what you should do. Exactly. I think this is what you should do. If you do it like this, you have everything that you will ever need. It is there. In fact, we've been waiting for you to show up to this dance with us. Who am I to say no to my life? Can't.
Okay.
So I'm playing hard. It's hard because I'm also a bit of a rebel, so I fight before I accept. There's a lot of resistance. Also, I'm unconditioning myself from a lot of things. So one of those things is that I have to completely disconnect from what I thought was who I am, right? This has included my family. Even you guys are victims. You have to create a new blueprint for yourself, and you have to be very clear about who you are so that you can be able to show up to your life confidently, because kumoja utaulizwa na maisha yako ulidu. So tulikupatia hizi vitu, ulidu nini nazo? na mimi sitaki kufika hapo. Nataka kuishi vizuri na nijienjoy.
Nakujua hiyo si option.
I take option.
Hiyo si option.
I want to have a good time. I want to have a good time. I want to be happy. I want to be for me, my thing is I want to put myself in spaces where I experience as much love, as much kindness, as much goodness, as much joy as possible, right? So this has involved a lot of people who existed.
Yeah.
Like, actually, this is the kind of conversations I was having with, like, people who are my new community and my old community. I'm like, this is how I look like now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, I'm not asking you to board, but it's going to look a little different because I'm doing something different.
Yeah.
But it does not involve anyone. I don't have to explain it to you, but it can look different. We can be friends, but this is what I'm offering, and I'd like you to match that if you can.
Yeah.
If you cannot, Pia,
nasema tu.
I wish you well. I send that HR email. I wish you well. Yeah. So that process is what I think for me is really difficult because you have to literally disconnect from yourself. Thank God we have supporting tools in life. So it's not as painful as it would ideally be if you're doing it sober.
wale wa kurodog mi nashanganga na nyinyi sana, so unasikia
kuna tools mob but like, even my niece, I was telling her, like, you just have to live your life. Hakuna kitu ingine, vitu zimesha happen, vitu mob zita happen pia, but the thing that brings you the most excitement, you have to pursue that. That is your call to your own life. Show up, okay?
Yo, wewe sijui kama mnasikia hii story juu enye sasa nimeanza kukaa hivi nikadhani tuna get like to another age. Sitaki kusema old because we know how old people look like, but tuna get a step forward towards whatever that is. Na unajua kuna kitu umesema important hapo. You've talked about there's always kuna ka stage fulani like utafika hivi maybe one part of your life ukwe like it's time to restructure. So in my head nilikuwa like kai kwani sijamaliza ku restructure, iko ingine, kumbe iko ingine 1 2 3 4 5
na zingine mob
6 7 8 9 10 we shukisha
but you have to play. Have to play. Hata ukiliaje you have to engage. So play. At least haitakuumiza cause resist sasa. Flow with it.
Shida pia ni ku resist.
Shida pia ni resistance.
Okay, siwezi ka hivi niseme sija go through a transition or two. Na nakubali, the more you resist, the more inakuwa even harder for you and whoever that person umecommit to ama ume have an arrangement, be it your employer, be it your spouse, your girlfriend, your fiance, be it your friends, be it anyone. As long as unajikataa itaanza ku clash na a lot of things on the side, so itakuwa messy na the easier una conform to what or where life inakupeleka, the easier.
Kubali yaishe. Kubali uchungwe pia. Like let it do its thing. It's here to support you.
Yo. Sinimwambia this is the reason why I took time kungoja Nina akuje hapa to have conversation kama eju. Unajua atukai hapa like strangers, when nani amini nani, when nani mimi nani. Sisi ni watu tunajuana from a different setting, kama wase wako wadogo, alafu unaona tu msee anaenda level lingine, so una understand hata story anakuambia, inakuwa easy ku relate. But if that's what we call the transition, by the unanitempt sana nite hii episode the transition. Unanitempt because umeipaint na colors zote za rainbow na tu yani vile inakaa si lazima useme kitu kingine. Alafu unajua vile umesema ki diplomatic, umesema hivi si eti umesema like the whole thing, lakini vile tu umesema mtu ana understand. So that's really nice. So nataka kushift, najua itakuwa like 360 shift, itakuwa like a totally different shift, but twende tu kwa hiyo rabbit hole.
Twende.
What do you think about the P-Diddy situation, if you've heard about it? But I'm sure by now you've heard about it. What do you think about the P-Diddy situation?
For every action there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Yeah.
Whatever you do in life, it'll give the result. Like there'll be a result at the end of it, yeah. I wish humanity well. Just that, yeah. There's a lot of things going on currently. Yeah. I think there are more important issues than P-Diddy.
Yeah. Super important by the
very important
super
issues.
Important by the
yeah.
Kuna mtu mwingine anaweza kaivi aseme mbona kuzwa Zak amemwambia ati kuna by the way kuna super more important issues juu kuna wase wako hungry in a certain place hii Kenya, kuna a lot of things zina happen, but still to the question, what do you think about this story? What's your opinion about your story?
I don't have all the details.
Yeah.
The information I have is from the internet, yeah.
Yeah. Let's deal with that, because unajua si kila mtu anadeal na kitu anajua, and we are miles away from them anyways. So,
yeah. I think if you cause harm, the system has created a way for there to be balance. You should pay for your mistakes.
No matter how powerful you are.
Even if you don't pay them through the justice system, you will pay for them. Yeah? In some one way or another. It can catch up with you, though it's caught up with P-Diddy. You can escape it until they talk about it when you're dead. But
it'll catch up.
It'll catch up. It'll catch up. So live a good life, be kind, respect other human beings. If you do not, things like what is happening to P-Diddy will happen to you. Yeah. I don't want to get into the details of it. Like it's a very toxic situation. Itanipandisha pressure. Na unajua mimi ni mzee, Zak.
Okay, sawa. So, Minta give my take.
Tell me.
Juu nimekuwa nikiona like a few things happen.
How much information do you have?
Me by the way, shida yangu, mimi kama nasi rooms the nini msewa hapa elite. Naendanga through hiyo rabbit hole. Nikianza nataka kuenda huko ndani kabisa nione. So I know things, but still hini information tumepewa na people. Si ati tunaweza sema this happened or this didn't happen. First of all, the things to do with the lotions. Bro, anyone can have as much lotion
as they want. But 1,000 bottles, Didi? 1,000?
Maybe, neza mtetea na mzini kujia. Neza mtetea. Maybe unajua pia ukikuwa wealthy design nyingine, maybe unataka ku have sense ama whatever.
You buy 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Those
are the choices you make.
Okay, mimi personally I won't do that.
But you're really not the smartest wealthy person.
Mimi lakini najiuliza by the nyi makarao sijui mbona mnakuanga hivyo. Sasa mbona mmulikishe mtu mmulikishe mtu juu akona baby oils down.
It was a shocking number. A shocking number. You can, okay, 50 would still be concerned, but like, okay, too bad. I guess they do a lot of things there. 1,000?
Okay, sawa. Sawa.
I mean, but also that informs you about the scale of the parties he used to have for him to have 1,000 bottles in stock. Hata nilikuwa najaribu walizipata zimestroiwa aje, like what
I know.
How does 1,000 bottles look like in a room? Is it?
Zilikuwa zimekuwa, let's say kwa draw zimejaa hivyo. Okay, niliona picture, niliona kazi. So I don't know if Diddy ndio alizipanga hivyo ama Makarao ndio walijaribu ku create ka agenda nini. Unajua another thing.
You need to deep. Zak, let it go. Release yourself from the baby oil.
Hiyo ndio shida yangu, naenda hiyo rabbit hole kabisa. But also away from the baby oil, kitu ingine, and it's one last thing, at least something we know for sure, ni jamaa alikuwa violent, na tunaweza ona hiyo video ya Kasi akimbeat kwa some place. So that at least we know, we saw P-Diddy and we saw Kasi. So sisi kama kwa hii podcast, we don't have to allow things like those, because that was a bit violent. Liona alikuwa na go hard,
a bit violent. It was extremely violent.
Juu alikuwa anampiga ni kama like a fellow man, unajua, that was like a bit too nini. So hiyo ili ni throw off, maybe something like that ndio ilifanya waanze kufikiria, hey, umsie sasa itabidi tuanze kunini. Sawa, one last thing, hata sitasema kitu ingine about your story ya P-Diddy, but one last thing, kwa hii story yote, kwa karogano gaka ama kanaitangwa nini, kwa hii story yote nimilana new word, napenda kula new words.
New word alert.
Nililan a new word inaitwa freak offs. Nakwambia nilikuwa nasikia hiyo freak off, kwa akili yangu sijui nilikuwa nafikiria freak off ni nini, but unasikia every time
freak off ni nini.
So vile walikuwa na explain juu it's like a new word, ni hata nilijaribu kuiangalia kwa dictionary online, ni kama, so hizi pati zao zilikuwa zinaitwa freak offs. So una imagine mtu akikuita party na anakuambia, bro, niko na freak off this Friday. So kwa akili yangu nilikuwa nasema, hey, lakini hiyo jina ni inaka
as about to say something.
Do you still want to say it?
I think those guys are extreme, right? So
yeah.
I would be worried if I was invited to a Diddy freak off party.
Oh, yeah.
I would, I'd probably tell my dad, I'm going somewhere. If you don't find me in the morning, please start looking for me. I don't know. I've never attended the freaky party.
Yeah.
I think there's ratchet parties.
Yeah.
That's what I'd expect in such a party. Something.
And that's thing tunaonanga kwa one or two parties. Si ati kitu always sema ni kitu ati haijaionekana on this earth. Ni people too being ratchet juu.
So did you get more information about the freak off party?
Lakini hiyo jina tu like there's something about name freak off. Hiyo ili nipata off guard, but anyway, sasa sawa, I promise
yeah,
I promise,
release all the baby oil stuff out, shake it off. Shake it off.
we niko out of those shackles sasa, staki
release yourself. Wacha wafanye Kenya wanataka huko.
By the hiyo ni story yao. Juu mimi niko na story yangu na si ati wanafuatilia story.
Hivyo uko na baby oil kwako ndio tujue ni ngapi. So
moja peke yake.
So I'll use this, I'll be asking people, uko na ngapi
Dante uko na ngapi? Mimi niko na moja na nikale kadogo ile ya soup. Hata sijui na kuanga 200 hiyo peke yake, moja peke yake. So
you should probably have more.
Yeah. Lakini ya P-Diddy bana.
Not 1,000 but
anyway, sawa. So the only family I've had kwa e podcast ni Cleo, who's also my co-host. Big shout out to Cleo by the na urudi bana, umepotea sana. Everyone is busy, but we have to create time for this. Ume notice nini from, unajua unakanga hivi unasema nikiwa young nilikuwa nafikiria hivi, but sasa now that unajua pia niko na like niko na a strong urge kuita hii pia grown and sexy juu you can tell tunaongea kama grown ups sophisticated. Okay, apart from the 1,000 bottles of baby oil. ume notice nini from yani vile ulikuwa nafikiria as a younger person to ya nini juu like a lot has happened since then. Ini like a blanket nini, you don't have to be like precise about something, ni just a blanket thing juu tuna create conversation out of this. Ume notice nini ama what has juu unajua mimi nakujua like
mimi ndio nakujua because nilikuwa na siku ile ulizaliwa.
Okay, ni ukweli but unajua kama Dante, by the way, big shout out to Black Dante. Very super producer hapo. Namjua lakini naweza sema we nakujua.
Unanijua personally.
So umeona hiyo graph ukana semanga graph. Graph ya maisha alikuwa anasema inaendanga hivi. Sasa wewe umeonaje hiyo graph?
Inaendanga hivyo, ni ukweli. Ni ukweli, but I think in my 20s it was like this. Ilikuwa but we also just learning about ourselves. Squeezy bado iko hivi, but I have better understanding of who I am. So at least naweza ingia nikitoka smoothly. Growing up is a lot of fun. I think I like it now more than I did before. Yeah. I have better understanding of life. Pia si serious. Tunaweza relax.
By the way, hiyo ni like super true. Unajua wase wengi wanakuanga like mi naogopa ku get older, but me the older I get ndio naelewa vitu, niko like by the hiki tu ninge approach differently ama ninge approach this way ama sai at least niko self conscious ama sijui kuna word for it nimesahau nini self awareness. Niko na tu awareness fulani. Najua msee akinikoroga juu nitaanza kumwonea huko yani anataka kuget reaction from me, so naanza kumwonea huko vile anakuja vile anatry kunikoroga, but niko like naona Kenya wanajaribu kufanya lakini mimi sitacheza hiyo game yako. Nitaamua tu wewe fanya tu vile unataka, ukimaliza wewe utaishia. Na wase wengi wanakuanga tu na ile like hey by this year na turn 30. By the big shout out wase,
are you turning 30 this year?
I'm turning 30 next year.
Okay, that's a big one.
Yeah,
we should celebrate.
30. Yeah, hiyo ya 30 hata nafikiria kufanya tu kitu extravagant. Sitaki kusema Kenya nataka kufanya hapa. Nasikia by the big shout out to Kenyan Powers. Mimi nilikuwa nakaa hivi nasema mkicheza na mimi nitaita msanii. Ule msanii nasikianga amenibamba sana. Nimwambie we acha ujinga. Shika hido ingia hapa. Mimi naita mabeshto wangu, makazinzo wangu kina nani kujeni tusherehekee 30 because si kila mtu amefikisha.
Ni Mungu.
Si kila mtu amefikisha na ile graph hiyo graph vile imeenda hivyo.
Tumeland 30.
Kuna mambo nyingi. So so hiyo ni big achievement if you ask me. Mimi sidhani niko na anything else on top of my mind. Kuna kitu yenye ulikuwa unataka to discuss maybe feel.
Let me tell you a funny story about your dad. Yeah.
Okay. Let's get
your dad is the one who plugged me to reggae music.
Ooh, yes, because ako super big on reggae music.
That day is a core memory for me. Alikuwa amehama Narok. He was a bachelor. Yeah, alikuwa nakatia mama yako siku hizo. So bado alikuwa amemove in.
Okay.
And your dad used to make chipos all the time.
Still bado number 1
Still
wa chipo.
The Waru blood, So we went to visit him, me and my mom, and I think my sister was there, and like I think we caught him off guard because alikuwa tu ana relax, anafanya shughuli zake, was not expecting his big sister to show up. But he was playing really loud music and he had unajua hizi vitamba zilikuwa zinatumiwa kama Wall decoration.
Still tuko na leo. Iko mahali huko kwa kona, iko hadi saa hii.
So he had one of Bob Marley and he was playing Bob Marley music.
Ooh.
And I remember asking him, I don't even know how old I was like maybe, I know I was not 7. I was younger. And I asked him like, what music is this? And he's like, this is reggae. And he did like a little dance. And I think it remained in my head up to today. I love reggae music. So shout out to Uncle George.
Hey,
he puts me on,
big shout out. By the way, naweza mwani nikate hiyo ka place nimtumie. Najua maybe WhatsApp yake ifanyi kazi ama the last time tuliongea na yeye sijui what was happening. Na kwa sababu unajua nyinyi ndio mmesoma IT. Si mnakusomesha IT. Sasa wewe ndio unafaa unisaidie hapo. And by the way, my dad amestick, yani everyone supatana na yeye, be it Hilda, who's our cousin by the, be it your sister, ananiambianga tu mi hata nikienda Narok mi upatana natafutanga anko, namwambia mi anamwambia mi nitakubaia we kuja tu na sisi, na mzee yako like kwani yuko shida gani, si twende. Wanaenda kama ni kudance, hata wanamko na dance nini, yani every cousin miuka naye chini hivi tunaongea, ananiambia by the way nikikumbuka kitu fulani nakumbuka your dad. And that's why pia mimi nakanga hivi nasema maybe that's why easy juu hata nikianzisha Kenyan Pause nilikuwa nashanga hii story imetoka wapi, najipata tu niko masherehe sijui nafanya nini hizo, nashanga imetoka wapi, kumbe imetoka kwa Uncle George.
Yes, Uncle George.
Big shout out.
You know, I think for me I was born in his time or he was born in my time, we'd be friends.
Sindio?
We'd be boys.
Nikuulize hiyo time because niko na like IDs, unajua zile maybe even now zile IDs za kitambo walikuwa nakubalisha mtu ku have like dreadlocks. So kuna ka ID nimeficha ako na dreadlocks na ni very shaggy ones. Nakwambia how aliamua kukata hizo dreadlocks.
Tell me.
Juu ulimpata na dreadlocks. First of all, let's start there. Hiyo time yenye ulimpata sikiza hiyo reggae ama you wouldn't remember?
Yeah, my memory is not great. Okay,
so backstory ya vile my dad alikata dreadlocks zake. By the way, ini ya story nilikamkugundua this year. Tulikaa tu chini na same vile tunakanga hivi chini, naambia mzae najua wewe ndo una baingi lakini leo wacha nikubaie we. Ambie huyo mtu hadi saa zile utasikia imetosha. Hadi useme utaki ingine. Sasa ndio nitaenda nilipe because ni beshte yangu pia siusikizana. So akaniambia kuna siku Wooks, big shout out to Zakaria. Walikuwa naenda ka church fulani. Alikuwa ameitwa kama mgeni mheshimiwa kwa church fulani huko Limuru. So unajua roots ni Limuru. So na kulikuwa na senior people wanakuja huko. So mzae kaka hivi akampeleka kwa church because Wooks anapenda kwenda church mapema. So akampeleka church juu alikuwa driver wake. Akampeleka church mapema. Akasema najua leo kutakuwa na watu wakubwa kwa hii church na sitaki kuaibisha Wooks. So wacha ni mdrop. Unajua Wooks hakuwa na shida, akitaka kuenda mali anaenda, bora service ikianza akue hapo juu atasema ako na mtu wake na mtu wake
lazima afanye introduction. Standard for Wooks.
So mzee akaenda tu akasema wacha nitafute ka barber shop hapo karibu. Akaenda akasema sitaki kuaibisha mzae, acha tu niende ninyolewe kwani si ati nitakufa. Akaenda tu akapata barber shop, akakatwa akanyolewa vizuri, akakuja akakaa hapo nyuma ya church. Haya, kumbe church ndio ilikuwa imeanza saa hiyo. So mgeni mheshimiwa mtarajiwa ameitwa Mr. Zakaria. Nini ningependa kusalimia kina nani na nani na nani. Alafu ikafika sasa na sijakuja peke yangu. nimekuja na my last born anaitwa Georgie. Amka mali huko. Georgie, amka mali huko. Unajua mzaya aliamka, Hooks
hakumrecognize.
Yodi Georgie. Hadi anakani kama jumzai ndio alikuwa ananiambia story. Alikuwa anakani kama anafanya hivyo alafu anaona huyo ndio my son anaitwa Georgie. Alafu unajua sasa hizo ana dread juu. Unajua kwanza sasa hiyo dread mzai alikuwa ananiambia ilikuwa na stereotypes mingi. Huyu ni mongiki, huyu ni mwizi, anavuta okay maybe alikuwa anafanya hivyo.
I don't know who this is. I think it's Willie. Someone I know, like mimi nilijaribu kuweka dread several times and my mom was like, girl no, hiyo kitu haikubalishi, it's an act of rebellion. Then someone put dreads.
Nani Marcus put dreads.
Marcus, yes.
Marcus ni our cousin by the way.
And my mom was against it. I think ata kaenda kumsomea juu hiyo story like how that is not acceptable. Then I think I went to school and I came back with dreads. That was my third attempt. I was like, si nywele. And I remember I met Marcus and I think Marcus alikuwa ametoa dreads zake at that point because alikuwa amehandwa sana. And he asked me, but you have dreadlocks. Why is your mother telling me not to keep... There was a lot of... In our family, that was a very... rebellious act. I'm even surprised we all have tattoos now.
Hata tusifike kwa tattoo kwanza, tubaki hapo kwa dreadlocks. So, hii ni story watu wengi hawajui. I also tried that stunt.
You did?
I also tried that stunt. And haiku last long. So, nilianza kuweka that time I was living in Ungwaro when we still had that place. So nikaanza kuweka hiyo wase wanaitanga tu chipo. So unajua tule tunakani kama tu roll ups but ikishika wax vizuri zitaka like dreadlocks alafu zita like kwa prolong. And by the big shout out to my mom. Mama yangu ndio alikuwa anazi retwist. Alafu mzee wangu ako like huka squeal atakuona because that time I was trying to help her hooks. And mtu kama mimi siwezi hepa hooks. Juu ako like Zak hajakuja kunisalimia siku nyingi. Kwani shida ni gani? So saizo
ni his favorite we can say.
Damn.
We can talk about it now.
Damn. Siwezi kata.
Kila mtu anajua si siri Zak.
So sorry. So mama alikuwa anamfanya hiyo sijui inaitwa crochet ama nini alafu ananiweka kwa dryer vizuri but mzee ananiambia hii kitu because you have to meet with the hooks so as long as uko na hizi vitu huwezi meet so saa nyingine naenda kama niko na kofia nini lakini hooks sifala naona tu ananiangalia ananiambia jenga uko sawa ni mzuri sana so this one time aka make an impromptu visit to Ungwaro. Julikuwa tunaishi mimi, Uncle Simon na Bill. Kakuja akasema, habari zenu. So hiyo siku tukatayarishwa asubuhi briefing. It was on a Friday. Tukaambiwa so unajua nyinyi mmezoea kukuja mausiku sijui saa ngapi nini. Today hiyo X nataka kila mtu akue hapa by saa 10 mchana. Ukue hapa ukue by saa 10 mchana. Be in your best behavior nini usivaa zile mavitu nini
speak and span you have to be proper.
Hiyo siku hadi compound ikachukuliwa lita juu anasemanga inaitwa nyoka. Hiyo lita hataki kuona lita anywhere. So hiyo siku and Uncle Simon amekana enough kuno what he should do ndio hooks aone kama hiyo ni conducive environment ya kukaa juu kama vitu ziko hapa anaweza anza kuamsha usiku sasa mchukue hii mweke hapa mtoe hapa. So
that man is a legend.
Tukafanyishwa ka brief tukaambiwa by the leo lazima mkuje mapema. Si ni kina nani tumetoka campus tumekuja hata tukatafutana na Bill huko town tukaamua tukuje Ungwaro pamoja. Tukifika hivi Wiri na Jega mmefika mzuri sana hata nimefurahia huku kwenyu ni kusafi. si unajua vile tunafanyanga nini. Then akatuangalia hivi akatuambia Wiri toa kofia. We had mi kwanza nilikuwa na ile ya Raila, si unajua ile nini, tulikuwa na like official look. Mazarino walikuwa na hiyo thing, wanakuwa na official look. So mimi nikavaa official look same to Bill. Bila kaambiwa toa kofia. Bila katoa kofia. So the only problem with his hair ni ati ilikuwa iko na hizo tu machipo.
Ni shaggy.
So akaambiwa enda uchane, this is not. Akatolewa hadi dhao akaambiwa shika. Enda kinyozi sahi. Chana enda uambie kinyozi aeke number 1 ikuwe kadogo.
Nani alichangiwa doku sababu alikuwa amevaa jeans zimeraruka? Ni wewe. Na
hiyo ilikuwa initiative ya mama. Tutafika hapo ya auntie. Tutafika hapo.
That memory has just hit.
Tutafika hapo. Na hiyo ilikuwa the same time. I think hiyo time nilikuwa na go through something. Sijui nini nilikuwa na go through. Mimi alifungua hivi akaona niko na uto tuchipo alafu tumewaksiwa so tunaanza kulala hadi hivi. Nikaona tu ameshika hivi moja. Hii ni nini? Jega? Hadi akaanza kuongea English. I'm very disappointed. Ukiona kukaanza kuongea English,
it's serious.
Ujue either ni happy or sad, like super happy or super sad.
It's in extremities, yeah.
So nikaona tu ameshika hivi moja akaniambia in a few minutes nataka kuona hii yote chini. And because sikuwa nataka kukua like super bald, hiyo wax bado ingetoka. So nikaenda tu nikaingia kwa shower nikaichana. Ilikuwa a bit painful but nikaenda tu nikaichana, nikaibonda. Akania till today akinionanga ananiambia Jega nafurahia sana juu unanisikizanga.
It's like let's be clear. This is how you should look.
Sasa wacha tuingie kwa hiyo story ya jeans. Halafu unajua auntie anakuanga very diplomatic. Ataka hivi akuangalia kusikize hata utadhani ako na shida na wewe. Atakuangalia tu hivi. Shule inaendelea mzuri. Glad to hear. Anachukua kapas anasema sasa najua uko shule kutumia kadhao. Kuwekea kadhao hapo chini anakuambia very nice. Alafu mnaongea mnakula lunch mnafanya hiyo shughuli yenu yote. Alafu sasa for context, those who don't know, our grandma died. So mwenye aliachwa in charge somehow ya housekeeping ni your mom. So yeye ndo like ana making sure like juu work saizi ona kila kitu. So zile missed spots your mom ndio anakuja kuziclear.
She's the oldest daughter.
Yes, basically. So akasimama tu vizuri, very modest and diplomatic. Hata unadhani labda anataka kusema maybe tuombe ama nataka kuchangia kitu kingine yani si related na story. Then kidogo unasikia. Sasa ningependa Zak asimame. Zak, please mama. Babangu, najua babangu, please mama. Munaona hiyo mafuto? Hiyo mafuto ameishiwa. So, ameishiwa.
That was a way of getting you pocket money. It's like let's exploit something.
Sasa nataka kila mtu amchangie whatever everyone has.
Anunue nguo.
High five, umenikumbusha memory nyingine noma sana. Sasa kila mtu alikuwa hata kama ni comrade, huwezi kosa kutoa kitu ama kama kina Clio wazae wao wako hapo nini. So huwezi sema una ndo. Unaambia mom sijui nini, unaona mtu amekupea dhao, mwingine amekupea 200, mwingine 500. Nilienda home.
Baada you were liquid.
Karibu nini wanaitwa G4S wani escort. Nimefurahia umenikumbusha hiyo.
Just hata sikumbuki tulikuwa wapi, but I know there was something, a fundraiser that happened because of torn pants.
Lakini hata mimi nilikuwa extreme juu nakumbuka hiyo unajua kuna ile unfinished kama zile jeans za isilimu hawana kata na kaneni fulani ka discipline fulani hiyo yangu ilikuwa hivi hadi unaweza ona like skin so akakuwa like let's do something here na tangu hiyo siku by the way spendi like hizo sijui zinaitangwa aje tata ama unfinished si na si ati juu about anything sizipendi tu hata nikiangalia mtu niko like
kuzijaishiwa
kafani yeah
anyway, we come from a really good family. I'm very grateful. I mean, we are not perfect, but we're also a very small family because me on the other side we are like 50 something.
Oh, okay.
At least patana sisi wote. It's not possible. And then now the kids are having kids, so it's growing exponentially. But us guys are really at a school baby shower like Cleo alikuwa ananihesabia watu. I'm like tumeisha. That's everyone. It's like that's everyone.
But na feel tangu COVID like what only drift apart. Okay, I mean it's understandable. Wengine wamepata kids, wengine
growing up does that.
Marriages, wengine and kama when grown up ndio unaendelea understand hiyo. So maybe the trick is kama ulikuwa na ule kuzoea yani close na wewe unamapproach tu directly, si lazima ungoje mfanye kitu like collectively ndio approach. Kama ni best yako unamapproach, kama hata kuna kitu unambebea kazawadi, kama uwezi fika hata siku hizi kuna M-Pesa unamrushia ka kitu.
Mimi naomba M-Pesa.
Unaomba M-Pesa?
Naomba kama mnanikumbuka. Anytime you think about me, M-Pesa is the solution.
After this podcast ama before, sijui kama nilifanya ama before ama after, lazima
tuma token ya of appreciation.
That must happen. That must happen.
You know what I say, hakuna mse hajakula pesa yangu in our family. Hakuna. So you can leave me now to do what I want.
That must happen. Najua huwezi sema number M-Pesa number hapa lakini wako nayo, si ndio? Na kama iko mtu ana nitamtumia, anipigie simu.
Iko kwa group. Iko kwa group.
Kama una useme ndakutumia.
Kila mtu atumepunch. Ndio nijue tuko wangapi.
Si ndio? Leo
anybody younger than me, the older ones we can release them. Anybody younger than me by midnight Zak.
Okay. Mimi nitakuwa siku hizi ni chairman hata kupanga hizo vitu happen.
But you guys did really well to plan that shit.
We so what happened, so for context
I'm also guilty about a lot of things that day.
For context kuna kuzetu tutamwita wakili recently got married. I guess hiyo siku ilikuwa like 2 years. Sijui kama ni fortunate ama unfortunate juu nilikaa hivi nikamwambia by the wakili unajua Facebook yangu imenikumbusha a day like today 2 years ago ilikuwa wedding yenu, traditional wedding yenu. Ndio like what? Hata sijui nafaa kwanza kuambia my husband
nini. She has a whole husband.
I know, that's so crazy.
Baby now.
That's so crazy.
You know who you should bring to this podcast? Bubbly.
Yes.
Please bring my girl.
Yes.
Please,
I know.
She's a financial expert. In fact, people can stand to learn something from her.
Na pia unajua hii mavisa ya huku kwingine Europe tumepata, lakini hiyo ya US inaleta shida. Sasa lazima akuje hapa kai sisi.
Umepata pink slip, mimi nilipata juzi.
Atupe blessing.
Anifungulie njia tafadhali. You should bring her around.
She's dope. That for sure. Tafuta tu polepole tu nimwongeleshe polepole. Unajua pia ukiita mtu kwa podcast labda anaweza kushangaa na sema sina kitu ya kusema, na mwambie hapana, si tunakaa mtu tunapiga story. So ili happen hivyo. So alidhani tu ni ka family thing ati tunakaa bowling nini. Halafu anaona 1 or 2 friends wako huku nyuma, anashanga huyu ana hang out na huyu mwingine, na mimi hao kuniambia ati sasa
so she was taking it personal.
Sasa ati June iko pregnant, sasa mwezi amuizi nitaform nimewamark. So by the time she knows it, mabeshte wake wamejaa huko, wako mahali hadi bablia kwa sisemi uko na sisi. So by the time she knows it, mabeshte wake wana flock hapo. Akakuwa so happy, it almost got emotional, but tukaka chini tukakula.
I wish her all the best.
Mabeshte wake walikuwa wanamletea gift nini, tukakaa hivi tukasema ati mnajaribu kutoa na sini makuzo. Mimi kama chairman nikaambia watu, sasa hakuna kutoa chini ya 1000. Kila mtu anitumie saa hii kwa hii simu.
Mimi nilituma.
Ulituma?
Oh, thank God.
Juu tulikuwa na Shunet akaenda hapo kwa kakona akasema kidogo nikasikia. Kwa ile Shunet alikuwa amenitumia juu alikuwa ametoka kashughuli hiyo siku, akasema sasa hii ni na utaongeza kwa hiyo hesabu. Na tuliwa outshine. Unajua sasa ati wanadhani siasa ndogo siasa ndogo. Ati sasa juu umekuja na mapampas nini, wewe usicheze na sisi.
I look forward to seeing everyone again. I know I haven't seen nimekuwa low key kidogo, but I hope to see everyone again. Also, simukuje tu kwangu. It's easier that way if you all just visit me. Yeah.
Lakini okay, siwezi sema
nakujanga. Unakujanga saa ngapi? Pia waweza kuko na makosa, but niko guilty. Pia mimi nakupenda sana. Niko guilty. Siwezi ka hivi niseme sijui najitetea ama nini. Yeah. So we can take a break.
I think we can. Tumeongea like tumefika how much?
Ongea family business hapa. It's become a family podcast.
No, but this is important to me. To me it is, juu najua a lot of people wanachukulianga podcast like maybe
serious.
But to me this is super important. Juu audience yangu ni audience yangu, what I relate with everything, na to make a context. And family yetu ni like a cool family. Kuna family zingine ziko so dysfunctional bro. Nimesikia ma story huko nje niko like what? Not me though.
Can't relate. What is your plan with your podcast? What is the vision you're creating for it?
Okay, I won't lie. Unajua watu wengi wanakujanga hapa na a lot of seriousness, wanasema mimi nataka kugo international, nataka Spotify wanipe grants. For now I want to create value around it, then from there we can try see the direction we can take it. Just taki kuibox niseme hii ndio direction tutataka kwenda, and ikikosa kwenda hiyo direction then nianze kukua sad ama nianze kukua nini ama I just forget about it ama niko discouraged. Now I'm just trying to create values, bring in numbers, which we are trying by the way. So tuko like 550 subscribers bro, tufikisheni 1000 tuanze kumonetize na pia watch time muangalie. So basically that's what I'm trying to do. Kama tunaweza monetize the YouTube way fast before like tuanze kuingia kwa brands nini because pia numbers ni important. Unaenda unaambia okay, this is what I have, so ona much nini, and see how that goes from there. Yeah, so basically that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Na tuko na like a good studio. Big shout out to Elite Club Studios. Yeah, mambo inaendelea hapa.
They're also doing an excellent thing. Like
Sindio?
I love it.
Sindio?
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best. You
Thank you
have
very
full
much.
permission to be who you want to be. Go ahead and do it.
Leo-
Show us.
Leo tume rotate around hiyo story like no one else needs to say it. Like ishakuwa engraved in my mind.
Yeah.
And my plans moving forward, which is super cool. Kama ujui by the way. Sai na feel ni ruke hapo ni kuhug najua hii setting haizi kubali, but after hii podcast ujue tu lazima ni kuhug because kama hii may happen. I'm so happy by the way.
mi nikiset mind yangu kufanya kitu nitaifanya. It might not happen in the time I think it'll happen, but it is on the list. Nilikwambia nimekufikia na nikakwambia mambo ni mengi, makosa pia ni mengi. Where do we start? Can we do it this weekend? Yeah. So just anything is possible, you know. Even with this, like I'm going to be subscriber 551.
Yes, 551.
Let me do it now. In fact, I'm doing poorly.
Yeah, and as she does it,
do it as well.
Yeah, as she does it, do it as well. Now by the way, Nico, so happy may grace this podcast. Nico, so happy to may have these kinds of conversations.
When are you sending the balance?
Soon. Sumona down payment. See nyingi.
Yeah, you guys, Nico asked me. He offered me some money.
Yeah. Nico like, what? Really? Nico like, This is how it's done here. I don't know how you did it those other places, but this is how we do it.
That for me was actually an experiment, right? I was like, let me see if I can. It was a test of how well I can articulate myself, because I didn't believe I could. So like, let me put myself in a space where I have to be very clear and deliberate about what I'm saying and see how that goes.
Yeah.
And we have been successful. We are here now.
Yes, we have. By the almost maybe 1 hour 30 minutes, 1.5 hours by the. So we've done a good job. Big shout out to everyone. Keep following us, Kenyan Powerhouse, all social media platforms. Hashtag Voices of the Millennials podcast. I have been your host, Zak and Ninah. See you next time. Peace.
Enjoyment. Toa hizo forms za enjoyment. Derailment. Nilijipata tu dundaki enjoyment. Of course. Katambe by force. Nze venye zangu zimenishika na kupata tunaweza choma picha.